Posters because I figured people could actually carry them home, so they'll be on the way out. If you could just take one, that'd be great, because I didn't make enough for both events if people take more than that. So, whatever. Just a little something, it's got the date.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, still in line, I think. Well, actually, no, keep it back first. This is the front of my line, so that'll be an indication. I was just saying a couple of things about this record. The record was made exactly the same way all of the Low Roar records were made. There's no, I mean, it's a posthumous release just because of the release date, but not because of anything to do with the record. So Ryan wrote all the songs, he played everything he was going to play, did all the production he was going to do, and as most of the records worked, then Ryan would send everything to Mike. Mike would do lots of stuff with them talking, and then they would send everything to me, and I would do lots of stuff, and Ryan would call me every day saying, let me hear something, let me hear something, let me hear something, and I would say no, it was finished, and then he would call me back and say, let me hear something, and then I wouldn't play him. Mike, okay, you're the man, now we know, oh, you cut the line.
No, I stood my game.
Oh, all right, then you weren't last. So, I was just saying how the record was made, just like all the other Low Roar records, except for the big time in the middle of it. And there are lots of lyrics that you might latch onto and think they mean something extra special, but I think having gone through that playlist, it's the way he wrote songs. And this is a Low Roar record, as Mike pointed out earlier, and that's all we really have to say about it. There's no special meaning in that way about it.
No, but I think with this one, the difference with this one, it seemed to me that he would tell me that he'd wake up in the morning, he was living in Sweden at the time, go straight to the piano and start writing, and it was quite stream of consciousness lyrics, and he wanted it to feel immediate, he wanted to capture that immediacy, and then he would go to Richard's studio in Sweden, in Gothenburg, and lay it down in one take.
Yeah.
And then he'd say, that's what I got.
Yeah.
And I would bring my parts or my flavors to it, send it back to Ryan, and he'd be like, yeah, put more of that saxophone thing. And then I sent it to you, and you got that just before you passed away. It was.
Yeah. I mean, I think there were 2 songs done to a click, so that they're more sort of programmed things or whatever. But every other song was, he sat at the piano, he played the song, and everything was built around it, which is kind of the same thing as the earlier records, but it was more, as you say, more stream of consciousness and much quicker. He wanted to do this sort of write a song a day, and when he thought it was good, he'd go record it, and that's what this record is basically.
And then we have this musical mnemonic motif.
Yeah.
Part he was really adamant. Mike, I want this little bit of the song. I think from House in the Woods.
House in the Woods, yeah.
To almost appear on every track.
Yeah. I think it's my fault. Because we talked about stuff like that on the previous records, and then he just went ahead and did it. And I believe half the songs on the record have this motif at the end.
Yeah.
But what it worked. So I'm assuming most of you are familiar with the second record. So why not just say something? So Please Don't Stop, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. That was one gigantic song, and I mean, I was working on that thing for 2 months and just trying to figure out, well, how's that going to work? How's it going to work? And then, as usual with Ryan, who was just a savant, he'd just say a couple of words, and he'd say, let's cut it up, cut it in half. And so we started looking at it and did it, but what it gives you is you end the first half of the record with Please Don't Stop, Chapter 1. And then at the end of the record, you get Please Don't Stop, Chapter 2, which is exactly the same chords, exactly the same melody, completely different musical setting, but it's familiar. So now the record has choruses Songs have choruses because it's something familiar and you come back to them and that's what people like. And that album actually has choruses, and it makes a lot of people just want to immediately start it over. Because it's like, oh, well, we got this thing that I've already heard before and it's unfamiliar. So it's a trick. It's a trick, but it's incredibly well executed on this one. And it took us both, I think, a little while to wrap our heads around it. Because it felt repetitive in a way and a thing, but we knew, at least I knew, I mean, Ryan never did anything that couldn't work. Maybe it didn't work when we got it, but it could absolutely work.
I remember thinking some of these tracks are really long and meandering, and I was trying to get my head around where the texture should be and where the falls should be and things. But when you really sort of zone into it, which I had to do in the